Everyone quiet. We brought in Dr. Hughes.
You may know her as your Aunt Flo, the Crimson Tide, the Red Wedding, Shark Week, the Rag, but you know what's even cuter than these nicknames? Being mature enough to talk about periods, because they're happening.
They're happening all around you.
All the time.
Dr. Hughes, how did bleeding profusely from the vagina for a couple of days every month become so taboo?
Like pretty much any and all displaced anger about sex organs, the stigma against menstruation can be traced back to organized religion. At the Hathor Temple in Egypt, an ancient inscription lists among one god's dislikes menstruation, up there with pineapple on pizza and commercial breaks.
Oh my God! Just disgusting. I think that's just very offensive to Hawaiians. I'm all about being offensive, but not to Hawaii.
Just kidding. Well, not about the period part. See, Christianity too has blood on its hands for making this natural process a shameful one for many women.
Leviticus
That's the book of all things sexual repression.
claims that anyone who even touches a menstruating woman or anything she sat on will be unclean for hours.
That means no riding on public transportation, basically.
Well, I feel like if you don't want to deal with blood on public transit, you should probably walk.
Leviticus has a lot to say about vaginas, but forgot to kindly suggest that men wash their balls before they have sex. But I'm asleep though, I'm asleep.
In Islam, Muslim women aren't allowed to engage with the Prophet Muhammad in any way while on their periods.
That means no fasting during Ramadan, no daily prayers, no reading the Quran, and definitely not going into any mosques.
And according to Orthodox Judaism, a woman has to refrain from kissing, hugging, snuggling, canoodling, and fucking her husband for the 5 days.
As if all periods are the same length.
And then for another week afterwards. But that's not all. See, she has to then dip her puss into a natural spring before she can get down again.
I'd allow it.
I guess so. Sounds good.
So this is what religious texts say, regardless of whether or not religious folks actually do any of this stuff.
Excuse me, Dr. Hughes, what effect do these religious texts have on biological women today?
A ton. This menstruophobia affects every part of their lives. Many completely sane people have argued that they would never vote for a menstruating presidential candidate because of the popular belief that periods make women crazy.
The nuclear holocaust would be imminent if the blob was around.
Mr. President, it has the codes. Dear God.
The societal stigma around implying that you're bleeding from your vagina is enormous, okay? If you have a period, think back to the first month that it happened. Did you feel comfortable talking about it with anyone? Did the boys in your class make you feel like you had cooties? Did you feel like it was something that you could openly discuss? No?
Imagine if we felt the same way about sneezing or any other normal bodily function.
Mr. President, on top of all of this, the literal cost of having a period is sky high.
One tabulation claims that a person with a period will spend close to $20,000 in their lifetime on period supplies.
I don't understand why we can't just stop the blob with a pill. Our problems would be over.
Chad, you're killing me.
Please pay attention to your information packets.
Wait, why?
Children.
When you combine the cost of containing menstrual flow with the fact that women are the most economically vulnerable members of society, you've got yourself a scary statistic about just how deeply the patriarchy has screwed women.
But not women on their periods, because that would be icky.
The point is, periods aren't a curse or a shameful event, okay? Periods are natural. They should be considered as beautiful and amazing as pregnancy. Our bodies built a home for a baby that isn't coming, and so we clean house once a month to make an even nicer home for said potential baby. Okay, periods should represent the hopefulness of life and the opportunity for the incredible, not just some dishonorable jinx to shun and ignore.
We're all here because somebody had a period in the first place.
So let's grow up and stop acting like it's gross or weird.
The Earth was too good for us anyway. If you want to check out last week's episode before the blob exploded the Earth, you can check it out here. And also, make sure to subscribe.